Yes, what's happening, guys? It's Big Yems here, and Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn has finally taken place, and it is done and dusted. So, I'm gonna be giving you guys my thoughts and breakdown of how the fight went. I would have done the video a lot sooner, but I wanted to rewatch the fight for a second time just to have a second look and see if anything changed from the first time I watched it. Obviously, I watched it live. I should have really recorded. I should have really have recorded my reaction, but I was getting lit, man. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I was getting lit. I was with a couple of the guys. You know what I'm saying? So, first of all, I just want to start by saying it was a great fight. Probably one of the best British boxing fights I've seen. Probably in my lifetime, if I'm completely honest. I don't think I've seen a better back and forth British boxing fight. So yeah, the whole event looked quite good. Everyone on my social media was tuning into it. Everyone around the country was tuning into it. Even people that are not um, really into boxing or combat sports, they were also tuning in. So it really brought the whole country together as a whole. So in terms of that, it was a very good event. Obviously, we weren't sure if Chris Eubank Senior was going to turn up or not, and he actually did, which was good because I feel like Eubank Junior needed his dad there. It was important his dad was there, as it wouldn't be happening without Senior and obviously Nigel Benn. So I was glad to see that when Senior did arrive. If you were watching it at home or whether you was at the actual arena, you would have seen and heard the reaction from the crowd when they saw that Senior had arrived. Everyone was happy because he needed to be there, man, and he needed to be there for his son. Because I'll be honest, Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn side, they took the piss with Eubank, man. Like, so I'm happy that his dad was there to support him. Before we get into the actual fight, I just want to point out one thing. I personally think that even when Eubank was walking to the ring, not necessarily when he was walking to the ring, but there's a shot you will see when him and when Senior arrives and Junior comes to meet Senior. I still feel like Chris looked dehydrated then. And we'll get onto the dehydration later in the video because there was a few key things that I thought screamed, yes, he was definitely dehydrated. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, let's get into the fight. Ring waltz was cool. So cool. The first bell went. Conor Benn started quick, started sharp. But I feel like the first round, Eubank really did well with his jab. He definitely won the first round. I feel like Conor Benn won the second and the third. And then from about the fourth, fifth, and sixth round, I think Eubank was really doing well with his jab, throwing a few combinations. But I feel like around round six, or maybe a bit earlier, I feel like Eubank was starting to look a bit tired. Some people thought it was because Conor caught him with some good shots. I don't think it was the shots at all. I just think he was clearly drained. But yeah, after round six, I feel like one thing Chris did, and I feel like he kind of had to do this because he was drained. He couldn't really move around a lot as much as he wanted to. But after around, I think it was round six, Eubank started to fight in the pocket. He thought, fuck it, I'm going to get in the pocket and I'm going to exchange with you. And to be completely honest, I think he did very, very well in the pocket. And that's what a lot of people are overlooking. A lot of people think that Benn won, but if I'm completely honest, I don't know what they fucking watched. Because, listen, throughout the whole fight, I feel like Eubank was the busier fighter. He landed the better not necessarily better punches, but he landed the more cleaner punches. Whereas Benn would throw maybe one or two big shots, and that was it. And I know a lot of people are probably going to talk a lot of shit because they'll say, oh, but what about damage? Listen, what Eubank Jr. was doing was very good. He was just touching Benn, pit pat, boom. Then the last one, the last two or the last one shot he would throw with authority. And I'll be honest, he was hitting Conor with a lot more shots than Conor was hitting him with shots. So he definitely won that fight, in my opinion. And it was a good way to box someone like Conor Benn. Just touch him up, touch him, boom, throw one powerful one, just to let him know, like, I'm not stepping on the gas, but I'm letting you know, like, I can assert my authority if I really wanted to. But I feel like Chris had to do that because he was a bit tired, and he couldn't really move around, so, which was smart from him. There was a few rounds where I could see why some people would think Benn won some of the rounds. Like, some of the rounds you could give to Benn, I understand why, but I still feel like Chris's work was cleaner and he did more. That's not to take anything away from Conor Benn. As much as I don't like the guy, he did very well, but I feel like, listen, him and his camp are trying to say maybe it's the 14 months, ring rust, etc., etc. Listen, when Ben has gone up from 147, he hasn't been stopping guys anyway. Even watching back the fight today, there was quite a few times they clashed heads, and I don't necessarily, like, people might look at Chris Eubank Jr.'s face and think, oh, he got mashed up. Conor Benn doesn't look that bad. One, Chris Eubank Jr. is very light in complexion. It's like me. I could get hit in the face now, and it probably, someone could hit me and it won't even hurt me, but I'll get bruised. Like, I could be hit with the lightest shot and get bruised. And I do feel like a lot of the clashing of the heads, Conor was doing a lot of crazy stuff with his head, and yeah, he kept hitting Chris on his face. That's obviously what caused the cut, I think, in the 8th round. But yeah, overall good fight. It was competitive, but what I will say is this: it was competitive, in my opinion, because one fighter was at 100% and the other fighter was not at 100%. And if Chris Eubank Jr. can do that dehydrated, imagine him at 100% rehydrated. Just imagine what he would do to Conor Benn. In my opinion, I think he would make easy work of Conor Benn. Like, you know that meme where you were saying easy work? I truly believe that he could make easy work of him. It will be a walk in the park, on a light walk in the park on a summer's day, whatever he said.
Look at your life, you know that? Oh, you are? What, you think I'm gonna be a walk in the park?
I mean, yeah, on a nice summer's day.
But yeah, and okay, cool. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, let's talk about Chris Eubank Jr. looking drained. You could see it in the weigh-ins. Even after the fight, listen, I've watched plenty of Chris Eubank Jr.'s fights before, and he's had wars. But you see the way he was talking after the fight, you could tell he was exhausted, man. Like, I've never seen Junior in that sort of state. Like, and he kept asking for water. that he kept, even before the fight, he kept asking for water. Like, and if that's not a clear indication that he was dehydrated, I don't know what is. Like, even when he was giving his interview after the fight, his speech was a bit, you know, not slurred, but a lot slower than the way he talks. I just think it was unfair, man, and I don't think we need to see a rematch, if I'm completely honest, because some people, like, there's a guy, I've forgotten his name, Xboxer Duke something, he was saying, Junior struggled with a welterweight. Bro, people are forgetting Junior was not at 100%. Like, if that's what Chris Eubanks Jr. did, dehydrated, imagine him fully, like, come on, let's be realistic, like, guys, now, man. Let's think with logic. Imagine Chris Eubank Jr. fully hydrated, the way he rehydrates usually in fights. But it wouldn't be competitive at all. It wouldn't. Like, and even towards the end of the fight, I think Chris landed some good shots. That not necessarily, I would say, hurt Conor a little bit. Not to the point where it would have stopped him, but you could see he was feeling it. And listen, there's weight classes for a reason. As much as Chris was dehydrated, he was still able to impose his size a little bit and whatnot. But yeah, my overall thoughts on the whole event, it was good, very, very good. I enjoyed it. I watched some of the undercard as well. Yeah, man, it was a good event. I'm very happy Eubank Jr. won. The right man won. Honestly, anybody that thinks Conor Benn won, they need to get their eyes examined, because, and this is my point, to the average eye, because Conor Benn was walking forward a lot of the times of the fight, and he was pushing forward and he was landing big shots, people are ignoring and they're not seeing the stuff that Chris Eubank Jr. was like. Honestly, guys, if you can, go back, rewatch the fight, and you'll see, especially when Eubank was exchanging in the pocket, he was throwing more shots, landing more shots, a mixture of shots, not just one big shot. So yeah, I think he definitely won that, and I think the right man won the fight. Another thing I would like to talk about quickly before I finish the video is the scumbag Eddie Hearn. I used to like Eddie because, I think it's maybe because he was Anthony Joshua's promoter, and I feel like he really did look after AJ. But the way Eddie Hearn has behaved with Conor Benn, I just can't. I just can't. I wouldn't say respect him, because I don't know the guy personally. I don't know him to not respect him or respect him. But your fighter got popped for PEDs. You claim he's innocent. You was trying to boil another man down to 157 pounds, and your fighter was on PEDs. So essentially, you was literally trying to kill the guy. Like, you was trying to kill Junior. And then in this fight, cool, you put the rehydration clause in there and whatnot. And there's just one thing I want people to understand. If this doesn't show you the type of person Eddie Hearn is, then I don't know what will show you. He is a scumbag. How can he come out after the fight at the press conference, the post-fight press conference? He said, if anything, in the rematch, Junior should drop even more weight. What? And he, like, come on, guys. Like, you could see he's a 35-year-old man. We all know, as you get older in combat sports, you tend to move up a weight division because your body struggles to cut the weight. And you could see he was struggling, and you want him to struggle even more. And the reason why they want him to struggle even more and drop more weight is because, cool, for example, Eddie Hearn even said in that same post-fight press conference, he goes on to say, Um, the fight was competitive. I think we got the numbers right. So that means you guys know Conor Benn and everyone was saying, oh, he can beat Chris Eubank Jr. at any weight. But clearly he can't beat him at any weight. You have to dehydrate him, boil him down, and not allow him to rehydrate fully for you to make it a competitive fight. So essentially, what you're saying from what you've said in the post-fight press conference is, if we boil him down even more and he drops more weight, we'll be able to stop him because it was competitive. So Eddie Hearn's a scumbag. I don't want to see a rematch. I don't think we need to see a rematch. And if we do see a rematch, I want to see Chris Eubank Jr. allowed to rehydrate properly. Because at the end of the day, he wasn't the one chasing this fight. Conor Benn is the one who wanted this fight. Shouldn't really be happening because they're two different weight classes. But because you've got a scumbag, money-driven promoter and a fucking drug cheat who's fucking always got roid rage, because you got those two guys together, the fight ended up being made. But rematch, I don't want to see a rematch. But as a whole, I'm going to give the fight a 10 out of 10. Definitely one of the best boxing fights I've seen in a while. It will probably be the fight of the year. It's definitely fight of the year so far. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the fight in the comments below. Let me know who you think won as well. Obviously, I know I said if you think Benn won, you need to get your eyes tested. But comment if you think Benn won. Comment. Like, it's good to have your own opinion. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think there is some big boxing coming up soon. Obviously, I know a lot of the guys that tune into this channel tune in for the MMA. I haven't been able to watch the Ian Gary versus Carlos Pratas fight yet. Listen, guys, I was getting lit. Like I said, I was literally 2 hours away or an hour away from the main event, and I fell asleep. And I haven't fallen asleep in a long time when it comes to fights. I don't think I've fallen asleep for the last 2 years when it comes to fights, but yeah, I was tired, man. I was lit. I had some like edibles, and I was getting lit, man. I was getting lit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. It's Big Yems in a bit. Fuck Eddie Hearn, Conor Benn. I'll be real. I don't even care for you. But shout out Eubank Jr. I'm really happy he could push through the adversity quickly. I know I was meant to end it, but quickly, like he said in the press conference, physical pain is nothing, man. He's got it, and I'm happy he uses the pain he's been through as fuel. I'm very, very happy. He did it for the light skin brothers, them. You get me? Yeah, team light skin and that. You get me? So shout out Eubank Jr. And yeah, shout out Turkey Al Sheikh. Great event they put on. But yeah, it's Big Yems. Have a good one, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that shit.